Hello, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you for giving us your time here this morning to join us on our webinar. Medyo napansin nyo, every 2 weeks tayo nag-webinar, no? It's because we wanted to reach out to as many SIOs, as many clients as we can during this um, quarantine. So for today, before I give it to our presenter, I would like to present muna yung company namin. So FNTSi. Most of you know yung company namin. Since the 90s pa kami, nagbebenta ng mga IT products. Usual mga mostly dyan mga SI namin is present naman dito. And they know naman how we do work, how we do business. So yun. So we have clients from Luzon, Visayas, and to Mindanao. And so for the ATEN naman, can anybody hear me?
Yes po.
Okay. Can you see my screen naman in presentation?
Yes.
Yeah, sige. So before I give it to Gilbert, no, to thank you for the answer. May I ask everyone na to mute their microphones so we can continue, or we can speed things up para sa presentation namin. So I'll wait for a few seconds for you guys to do that. So for the ATEN, it was established 1979. It's specialized in connectivity, management solutions, accessing and sharing technologies. ATEN consolidates all of its products and service under one brand, which is ATEN. So in order to provide an efficient, consistent service standard, the ATEN brand consists of innovative solutions applied to connectivity, professional audio, video, green energies consumers, small home offices, small, medium-sized businesses, SMBs, and enterprise customers. Yun, I would like to invite nga pala everyone, if during the presentation of Gilbert today, pwede kayo mag-chat, tapos you leave your question and answer dun sa questions, and we will answer it after ng presentation namin. So yun, without further ado, I would like to present yung technical sales namin dito. We call him Gilbs. So pwede niyo siya tawagin Gilbs. Gilbert Agregorio. Thank you.
Okay. Hi everyone, this is Gilbert, your speaker for today's webinar entitled Hassle-Free Remote Troubleshooting of Serial Devices. I'm here to introduce and to share at the same time the serial console server, from what it is, to the importance of it, and everything in between. The list you're seeing are the agendas I am about to tackle. What is a good server room? SN overview, ATEN SN model, naming rule, photo gallery, connection diagram, new features, web GUI, and SN operating codes. To start this up, I believe that most of us here already knew or has a knowledge if what is a server or a server room. Ito yung usually mga air-conditioned room wherein nandun yung ating mga computer servers. But let's admit that some of us don't have much familiarity with what a good server room is. Kaya today, I'm here to give you an advice in order to attain this. These are the factors in order to consider a good server room. First, let's be after the server. A server must attain or must be attain this access, monitoring, and redundancy. First, let's be after the server. The server must be efficient with regards to access, monitoring, and redundancy. ATEN provides solution for these demands. Like for the access, they have the KVM over IP switch or KN and SN or serial console server. For monitoring, there's the software's CC2000, a centralized management software, and CCVSR, a video session recording software. For redundancy, we have UPS and PDU, not only to provide power consumption, but also to provide data sa power consumption and data usage. Next thing to consider is the cable management. A server must have a better cable management kasi with this, servers can breathe a little easier and it will reduce the risk of overheating. With this setup, we can expect an increase sa performance and management ng ating mga servers. Another thing is yung environment type. let's always put in mind yung environment ng ating server room, from preventive measure, monitoring, and problem solving. Kasi these activities will help to protect yung mga mission critical equipments from failures, pag-decrease ng management or performances, and also yung data loss. Last thing to consider is yung physical security. CCTV cameras are a great way to provide security in a data center, not only because they are providing video footages of a specific event, but also they act as deterrent or hadlang sa mga criminals whenever may mga masasamang balak ng mga to. As you can see, this is the flow of system in a server room. As what I've mentioned earlier, CCVSR will be in charge in video session recording, going to the KN or the KVM IP switch, which will manage the data center via remote access anytime and anywhere with KVM over IP solutions. And SN or the serial console server that will transform legacy device capabilities and can control up to 48 serial devices or servers. These two, the KN and SN, will be managed by CC2000. This management software provides easy-to-use yet robust interface, making system management more efficient and productive. Since our topic for today is hassle-free remote troubleshooting of serial devices, though we did a little talk about server room, we'll be focusing more in ATEN's SN or serial console server. The reason why I inserted server room is because server room needs SN series that will help IT people to control network switches easily. First, a serial console is a connection over the RS-232, or what we call the serial port connection, that allows an access to a computer or a network device console. And with that, the serial console server, which is considered as terminal server, provides IT administrators secure serial over IP access and control of serial devices. Okay, I'll assume that we are all aware that ATEN is the leading provider of IT connectivity and total management solutions globally. Given this, they made SN model which offers broadest spectrum of interrelated services suited to fulfill the ever-increasing demands of today's fast-paced IT market. Benefits of SN will be very useful and convenient in terms of the environment, where there will be needless of using rollover cables since it has an auto-sensing mode, out-of-band management, virtual port management, and port name discovery, a latest addition for network switch. For the command, wherein you'll be able to monitor device status like whether they are online or offline, it also supports multiple remote access. As well as for the security, since it has various login authentication, IP or MAC filter, keyboard and mouse encryption, and user permission. An added information for the port discovery, it automatically retrieved and displayed the port name of the connected network switches. These are the brands that ATEN can support: Cisco, Juniper, HPE, Dell, Huawei, H3C, EdgeCore, TrendNet, Fortinet, and ATEN ES0152. With ATEN's SM comprehensive features, it will help to maximize IT productivity, increase scalability, as well as reduce installation and operational cost with easy and secure remote management of serial devices. The serial console server will save you time and money. It can also give convenience due to the fact of us escaping the hassle effect of heavy traffic, since it allows us to manage the data center from practically anywhere. In addition, given to the pandemic we are facing right now, this setup or solution provides safety by minimizing the risk of being infected by the virus, since times will go and be exposed outside will be reduced. As you can see, there are series of SN for the data center control for many ports and for peer-to-peer communication, or what we commonly known as P2P. Let's now move to the naming rule. The model name is consists of 8 characters. First 2 characters, which are constant and default, are letters S and N. It stands for Serial Console Server. The next 2, or the third and fourth character, are numbers either 01 for redundant PSU and LAN, or 91 for single PSU and LAN. PSU is power supply unit and LAN is local area network. Fifth and sixth character indicates the number of ports the device possesses. This depends on how many ports will be needing to fit the requirement. Last, for the remaining characters shows whether the serial console server is for AC PSU or DC PSU. To give you an in-depth information, AC, which means alternating current, is a standard electricity that comes out of power outlet. On the other hand, DC, which means direct current, is a linear electrical current that comes from multiple sources including batteries, solar cells, fuel cells, and some modified alternators. We are now proceeding to the photo gallery of some of SN units front and rear view. First thing to show is the SN9108CO for 8 ports and SN9116CO for 16 ports. As you can see, the front panel consists power LEDs, port LEDs, LAN LEDs, and reset. For the rear or back panel, this is where we'll see the power sockets and switches, grounding, LAN, and serial ports. Another models are SN0108CO for 8 ports, SN0116CO for 16 ports, SN0132CO for 32 ports, and SN0148CO for 48 ports. As we can observe, the difference between the first picture you have shown and this one are the additions in the front panel, which are USB ports, console, LUC or laptop USB console, modem, and PON. Let's now go to the connection diagram, where we can see the connection amongst nodes in a network. In a sample diagram for SN9116CO, you can see connections of LAN, PC via console cable, and Cisco network switches using Cat5. Same goes for the SN0148CO. There were just additions of another LAN, PC via console cable, another LAN, USB LUC for laptop's easy console operation, main console, and connections of modem and PDU. If you have noticed, there was just a direct connection to Cisco network switches for the reason that with Cisco pinouts and auto-sensing DTE or DCE feature, Serial Console Server can connect to Cisco switches without the use of rollover cables for more efficient IT infrastructure deployment. Moving on, we'll see the web-based graphical user interface, or popularly tagged as Web GUI, which refers to the interaction between a user and software running on a web server. First is the online detection of connected serial devices. ATEN's SN supports online detection of connected serial devices, including terminal blocks, for device status monitoring. There is also a notification email alert that will be sent to the administrator when the connected devices are either offline or online. In the Web GUI, you'll see 5 tabs: the port access, user management, device management, log, and maintenance. What I'm about to discuss here are only the necessary or yung kailangan lang natin i-focus sa Web GUI. In port access, this page is used to access and control the devices on Serial Console Server installation. This page is available to all users. Under the Port Access tab are 7 sub-tabs, which are connections, favorites, history, preferences, sessions, access, and properties. In connection, port list can be seen. You can see here the details of all connected devices. In Access, administrator use the access page to set user and group access and configuration rights for serial console server ports and PDU devices. In this, there are two sections for access, the user access and the group access. In user access, there are choices whether you are giving this user a command to have no access, view only, full access for serial console server ports and PDU devices. Also, this is where you authorize user in configuration and in power supply aspect. Same goes for the group access. The only difference between the two is that user access is for individual and group access is for group. Last subtab is properties. When you click properties tab, the port settings list page will appear. When a port is double-clicked from the port settings list or from the sidebar, you'll see this. In properties, you can see the port number, port name, interface, baud rate, parity, data bits, stop bits, flow control, and toggle DDR. In operating mode, the said page allows you to configure settings for access and management of each port. This determines how each serial devices is accessed via operating modes. Under this are general settings, alert strings, and command filters. Settings for max sessions, suspend character, access mode, occupy timeout, logout timeout, exit macro, connection protocol, and out CRLF translation are under the general settings. In alert strings, the port alert strings dialog box provides a way for you to be informed about problems that occur on the devices connected to the serial console server's port. When the serial console server receives such a message, it can send an SMMP trap alert and or an email to inform the user specified here of the problem. Also, you can specify up to 10 types of alert. After setting up this page, whenever one of the specified alerts is generated, you will be informed of its occurrence. For the command filters, administrators can restrict users to execute only predefined commands. With this function, it will lead to a more organized work since restrictions is made in order to avoid confusions if what the user has to do and not to do. Another tab in the web GUI is user management. When you select the user management tab, the screen comes up with accounts page displayed. For the devices tab, when a user logs into the serial console server, all the ports that the user is permitted to access are listed in the sidebar at the left of the page. Access permissions for those ports and the devices connected to them are assigned on a port-by-port basis from the user or group list on the sidebar of the user management page. This is where you'll provide assignments to users or group. In Groups tab, you'll see here the group list. Group allows administrators to easily and efficiently manage users and devices. You can also assign users to the group that can be done in Members tab. Next is logs. The serial console server logs all the events that takes place on it. And to view the contents of the log, you should click the log tab in order to see the device's system log. In notification settings, this page lets you decide which events trigger a notification. Okay, let's now proceed to the SN operating modes. I'll only introduce 4 modes which are constantly used. Di na ako magiging masyadong malalim sa pag-discuss nito kasi I think it isn't necessary na since yung topic naman natin is yung serial console server. First is the console management mode. This mode can execute the remote console management, which enable users to access the serial console port of servers and network devices. If there's console management mode, there's also a console management mode direct. In this mode, compared to the console management mode, there is no need to log into serial console server in order to control the serial devices. Another mode is the real comport mode, which was designed to allow Windows PCs to treat serial ports as local COM ports. Last is TCP mode. This is for server and for client. In TCP server mode, SN waits passively to establish a connection with the attached serial device. While on client mode, SN actively issues requests to establish a connection for the attached serial device. Okay, to sum this topic up, which is the hassle-free remote troubleshooting of serial devices, the advantages of deploying serial console servers is para ma-improve yung business continuity. It will also allow easier and faster IT maintenance and management na magre-result sa cost and time savings. With this, mafi-free up yung mga IT staffs, causing them to focus more on other important tasks such as creating new and innovative services. Okay, to give an answer sa mga question asked sa message box, magbigay lang kayo ng mga questions doon and i-address natin later. Once again, this is Gilbert, greeting you all good day. Keep safe.